Natasha, it's as big as Bathurst. Looking forward to seeing it.
For sure. Thank you, Sam. Stay with us for the weather next.
Tonight's weather report brought to you by Coffs Harbour Blinds and Awnings. Latest in window covering products, technology, motorisation.
R32, now available in Daikin ducted systems. A next-generation refrigerant with a substantially lower impact on the environment. Ensure your next ducted system is a Daikin for pure comfort. Daikin.
Time now to see how the weather's shaping up for the long weekend. Here's Gav.
Thank you, Tash. Well, it's here. It's certainly been warm. We've got a little bit of high-level cloud on the way and some cooler conditions settling in. And it looks like we're going to finally see some rain as well. A big, beautiful, fat, high-pressure system produces beautiful conditions for hot air ballooning. They love the cold mornings, very calm conditions. Just a light little wind drift makes for a perfect start to the day when you're hot air ballooning. Now, a little bit of rain throughout central Australia, and there's more to come. We're going to see this high-level cloud affect the long weekend, particularly the start. That's going to come through tonight and will be there as we move through tomorrow. There's a bunch of fronts, though, that are going to sweep in from the southeast. That's going to increase wind speed, so it's going to be a little bit windier. Westerlies at first and then switching around to the south and then onshore for your Sunday. We've got the high-level cloud and a little bit of rain as possible. Very small numbers. We'll have just a couple of drops, if anything at all, reach the coast and the eastern slopes. We'll have a little bit mostly come down across the western divide. But that system, it looks like it's going to brew into something, and we could see significant falls during the middle part of next week start to develop throughout southern Queensland. That's going to dip down into northern New South Wales. So we'll see some rain icons as we move through the weather forecast, and that's why a little later. Now, Perth, 22 storms for the centre because of that deepening system now. Cooler throughout the southeast. Sydney to Brisbane is still very, very warm, very mild air mass pushing through despite the cloud cover that is moving in from the west. Temperature-wise today, still very warm, mostly the high 20s right along the coast, and we cracked the mid-20s there up on the plateaus. Further north, 28s also around Grafton, just radar anomalies, nothing there on the radar. Still above 30 degrees for Casino and Lismore, more after yesterday's scorcher. High 20s along the coast, Mullumbimby 34 and Tweed Heads cracked a 31 today. Looking at tomorrow, a little bit of rain mostly on the western side of the divide. I don't think we'll see much at all. If anything, you might get just a couple of drops on the car and you'll notice it. It'll move the dust around a little, but it'll be evaporated and gone before you know it. No impact at all. You've got a wind shift moving from the westerlies, mostly offshore, and a little bit gusty, particularly over the mountain areas throughout tomorrow because of that passing frontal activity off to the south. So we've got a bit of a breezy day, a little bit of cloud, not as much to the south, but we are going to see some of that high-level cloud. Any chance of drizzle or light rain is going to be very minimal. Lucky to see 0.1 of a millimetre accumulated, believe it or not. Tennifield, so these rain icons can be a little bit misleading. We're not going to see much from it at all. Temperatures are still going to be very warm despite all of that cloud cover pushing on through to begin the long weekend. Swell, not much at first, but westerly winds keeping conditions fairly clean. Then there's a little pulse. That's going to start to build overnight, and then by Sunday we're going to have a pulse in the swell. So we're looking at a low at about 9:30 tomorrow morning, working to the high there in the afternoon. So you've got the high really early and then back to it again about an hour usually after that. Sun to rise 5:27 and down at 5:49. Beautiful moon phase for the next week as well, leading up to the full moon that is coming up at the end of next week. I'd say looking pretty good for boating. Not bad at all. Now, the winds are going to ease and the swell is going to spike on Sunday. So overall, it's not too bad. It's just going to be a little bit choppy throughout tomorrow. A little bit of cloud cover to deal with, but still pretty good overall on the water. But Sunday will be shaping up nicely. Just be prepared, though, if you're going offshore, you'll have a bit of increased swell tracking up the coast, but those winds are going to back off. Take a look at this forecast then. So nice and warm tomorrow, but then we've got the cooler air coming in behind that southerly. Predominantly fine at first. Even on Sunday and Monday, there's nothing much in it. But late Monday, we're going to start seeing this weather system begin to build, and that'll be dipping down across the northern rivers. So if you're after 30 millimetres, I think large areas of the northern rivers are going to get it during that Monday, Tuesday period. Follow-up falls there into the middle of next week. So finally, rain on the way for the northern rivers. Not as much off to the south for the Coffs coast and adjacent mountain areas, but you should be able to get a little something into the early middle part of next week. Further south for Taree, it is going to be dry. It's going to be warm. warm, picking up some showers, but the majority of that rain is going to fall over northern New South Wales. Surfers, well, as I said, a couple of small little waves pushing through during today. Tomorrow, small and clean with the westerly winds, a pulse in the swell coming through on Sunday, but the winds will swing onshore.
Thank you, Gav, and that is the latest news from all of us here. Have a great long weekend.
Good night.